Welcome everyone. Today we will discuss procedure of muscle biopsy. Muscle biopsy is an essential component of investigation of patient with neuromuscular disorder and is the deciding factor for diagnosis in most cases. Certainly, it is the criteria on which management decisions are made in majority of cases. But in this investigation, cooperation between physician and pathologist is vital. Muscle biopsy is a relatively simple procedure and the interpretation of histological appearance is generally not difficult in majority of cases provided the proper muscle has been selected for biopsy, the operative procedure has been done correctly and the suitable technique for the fixing, embedding, processing and staining have been used. In that scenario, interpretation of histological appearance is generally not difficult. The decision to carry out a muscle biopsy in a particular patient ideally after standard investigation have been completed, that is electromyography, serum and urine enzyme, especially serum creatine phosphokinase and nerve conduction studies. Which site is suitable for muscle biopsy? How would you decide? Ideally, the muscle chosen for biopsy should be actively clinically involved and it should be moderately affected by the disease and it should not be severely wasted and replaced by fatty and fibrous tissue. Biopsy should never be done from a site of recent trauma, intramuscular injection or needling for electromyographic examination site. In inflammatory muscle diseases, muscle with tenderness is most likely to yield diagnostic information. A straight muscle with parallel fiber is preferred in general when both upper and lower limb muscle are equally involved. In that case, vastus lateralis muscle of the quadriceps in the thigh are the most suitable for biopsy. But if the upper limb muscle are to be sampled, deltoid is the best, followed by biceps. If below knee muscle in the leg is required, peroneus longus or tibialis anterior should be used. Gastrocnemius should generally be avoided. In conditions where it is important to examine motor end plates or terminal nerve fibers, as in myasthenia gravis, intercostal muscle are very suitable as they are particularly well innervated. Now coming to biopsy techniques. Biopsy can be obtained by two techniques, needle biopsy and open biopsy. The needle biopsy technique is rapid, simple and less traumatic, but the sample obtained are tiny and difficult to orient. The open biopsy procedure provides larger quantities of muscle, thus permitting a variety of study to be done on the specimen. It is therefore the method of most centers. Open biopsy technique can be done under local anesthesia in adult and grown-up children. General anesthesia is recommended for infants and smaller children. Now coming to handling of a specimen. The operation should be carried out in the operation theatre with full aseptic precautions. While selecting the site of incision, the surgeon should avoid the end of the muscle near tendinous attachments. After preparation of the site under aseptic measure, the skin and subcutaneous tissue are infiltrated with local anesthesia and incision is carried down with fascia. The muscle should not be infiltrated by local anesthesia to avoid artifacts. After incision and retracting the fascia, a segment of muscle is exposed. A cylindrical piece of muscle measuring 2 to 3 cm in length and 1 cm in diameter is separated gently by dissecting clamp are applied at the either end to keep the muscle stretched, and then thread is tied beyond the clamp and the muscle cut beyond the thread. In this point, care should be exercised not to overstretch the muscle, as this will cause artifact. After obtained, the muscle should be manipulated as little as possible because the naturally irritable tissue tend to hypercontraction, and if the muscle biopsy is immersed in fixative immediately after removal, it will contract considerably and the eventual sections will be difficult to interpret. To prevent such contraction, the muscle biopsy is allowed to relax for a few minutes in normal saline or placed on a piece of stiff white cardboard and gently stretched out to its full length. It is allowed to adhere to the cardboard for about 5 minutes prior to placement in the fixative. Specimens should never be pinned to the cardboard since pins undesirably cause artifacts. The muscle biopsy can be dropped in an empty clean glass bottle or penicillin vial or sent to the laboratory immediately. If delay in dispatch is anticipated, the bottle with muscle can be kept in a flask containing ice until it is transported. However, there should not be much delay in doing so, and it is desirable that the tissue reaches the laboratory not later than 4 to 6 hours. If electron microscopy is to be undertaken, the delay can produce artifact in the organelle. Now coming to processing of a specimen. A long single piece of muscle thus removed should be divided into 3 to 4 pieces to be used for different studies. One piece is fixed in 10% neutral buffered formalin for light microscopy. The second piece is snap frozen in liquid nitrogen for enzyme histochemical and immunohistochemical studies. The third piece is fixed in 3% glutaraldehyde for electron microscopy. The fourth piece is optional, is for biochemical studies. In case of light microscopy, the specimen is fixed in 10% formaldehyde for a minimum of 24 hours. One or more longitudinal as well as transverse slices are submitted for routine processing and embedding. 5-micron sections are cut and stained. Following stains are required for light microscopy, that are hematoxylin and eosin stain, pass with and without diastase digestion, meson trichome stain, Verhoef von Giemsa stain, phosphotungstic acid hematoxylin stain. For enzyme histochemical staining, we require quenching muscle. Ideally, samples should be frozen as soon as possible after removal, but delay of up to 30 minutes do not generally cause deleterious effects. The specimen should be oriented to produce a block from which transverse section can be obtained. Freezing should always be rapid to prevent artifact. For enzyme histochemical staining, the specimen is quenched in isopentane, pre-cooled in liquid nitrogen for a duration of 20 to 25 seconds. For this purpose, a specimen of muscle approximately 0.5 cm cube or less are carefully oriented in a transverse plane on a slice of cork of about 0.25 cm thick or on an aluminium foil. If available, the specimen may be mounted on 10% tragacanth gum or tissue tape. The specimen is then submerged into isopentane containing a beaker which has been pre-cooled in liquid nitrogen. It takes approximately 10 to 25 seconds to freeze the specimen. The specimen is then detached from the cork. It is then put on the block holder of the cryostat. Sections are cut at 8 to 10 micron thickness in a cryostat. at minus 15 degrees Celsius to minus 20 degrees Celsius. A series of sections are obtained depending on the number of enzyme studies needed. Now coming to staining. The commonly done histochemical stains include NADH-TR, SDH, myosin, ATPase at 9.4 and 4.2 pH, phosphorylase and other stains indicated like phosphofructokinase, etc. These all are enzyme histochemical stains. Non-enzyme histochemical stains are modified Gomori trichrome, PAS, oil rado, immunohistochemistry like dystrophin, adherin, myrosin, imarin, and for electron microscopy, biopsy is trimmed into 1 mm cubes and fixed in 3% glutaraldehyde. Post-fixation is done in 1% osmium tetraoxide followed by routine dehydration, impregnation and embedding in epoxy resin. So, muscle biopsy can be obtained by two techniques, needle biopsy and open biopsy. Needle biopsy is a technique which is rapid, simple, less traumatic. What difficult to orient? Open biopsy is a procedure in which you can get large quantity of muscle. It is therefore the method of choice. After getting muscle biopsy, fresh sample can be used for biochemical assay. In case of enzyme histochemical studies, you have to quench muscle. For quenching of muscle, the specimen is quenched in isopentane, pre-cooled in liquid nitrogen, temperature of which is minus 170 degrees Celsius. After that you can do serial sectioning by cryostat. After that you can do immunohistochemistry, enzyme histochemical studies. For electron microscopy and light microscopic examination, you have to fix sample. For light microscopy, you have to fix sample in 10% neutral buffer formalin, and through which you can do HE staining and special stain on this sample. And for electron microscopy, the biopsy is trimmed into 1 mm cubes and fixed in 3% glutaraldehyde. Forced fixation is done in 1% osmium tetroxide followed by routine dehydration, impregnation, embedding in epoxy resin. The tissue pieces are oriented so as to yield longitudinal and transverse sections. So these are the all procedures used in muscle biopsy. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much.